we're here with Dana Wanamaker, who is vice president, I believe, of Barton Covillama, a major school construction architecture firm, and he was explaining some of the issues with the renovation that came out with the A campus mainly, or A section mainly.
The A section on the high school campus.
Right, and he's just going to, this is not formal, but he's just going to basically illustrate to us some of the issues he found with the roof. Again, this isn't formal, but this kind of shows what he kind of ran into here. So,
Okay, if you can imagine, if this is the ground,
okay,
and as you build a wall,
all right. I'm gonna. Which way would be up here?
up is here,
Okay, I'm gonna turn around so we can kind of go up.
okay?
Okay.
We build a concrete block wall up, and then they set the brick on the outside of that wall.
Okay, that's a veneer.
That's the brick veneer.
Uh-huh.
And usually in a modern construction, we'd have insulation and an airspace in between.
Okay.
In your building, the A section, we were under the assumption, because we'd taken a couple boring holes through here, that this was somewhat full of poured in place perlite, which is an insulation that was poured in years ago. Turned out it wasn't there. So you haven't had any insulation in the walls of this building
Which
for
is
several
why
years.
I believe it was Mr. Elder, Mr. Donaghy, perhaps. I forget. One of the board members mentioned we've basically been heating the outside of our building.
That's accurate. Then, on top of the block wall, we typically have joists that carry the roof. And normally, once you set that joist, that would be then infilled with more block.
All right.
And the roof deck goes across the top, and wood blocking would sit there on top of that. In your case, they didn't do that. They actually set the block out here.
All right.
And we didn't know that. They set it just back on the brick a little bit and covered the face of it with brick.
Okay.
So when we tore the brick off, that block fell off the top.
Okay, because it was so far out. Basically.
Correct.
Okay.
On top of that block was the wood blocking that forms the edge of your roof.
Okay.
When that block fell off, that wood blocking just was hanging out there.
Basically, there was a gap basically right there.
Correct.
Okay.
So we had to come back, correct this situation with the block, and take the roof membrane back, rebuild the blocking, and then reattach the membrane.
Okay.
That was the big surprise.
All right. So, would you say the insulation or lack thereof, and the missing or the block falling was the two biggest surprises? You'd gone over a couple different things.
Those were the biggest surprises with the wall. We had some surprises with the way the old roof insulation was attached.
Which made it a lot more time to take it off.
It was a much more time-consuming process to remove the insulation than anyone had anticipated.
Okay.